this point, we're going to the Facebook page in South Carolina.
So is it on South Carolina?
Yep, it should show up.
On the group, right?
Hey.
You can check them out. Okay, check these things. You know, I just make things work. I don't know how to do it. I just make it work. And then maybe I should make
Okay, so that's
Should be on Power
that's the group.
It's not on South Shore Live. It's on Happy Bar Production and it's on Power because we just were member of the group page.
Correct.
You are live on Happy.
All right. We have the logo. I'm going to tag you.
And I'm going to go in here and start.
Now, if you go to my page, Howard Durant, make sure this is South Carolina. Is this on South Carolina, Jeff? Right.
They can hear us through my. They have it.
Legal. I don't know if you
Like
would
this.
just dig that big cabin effect.
Yeah. It's too boom.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome.
Good day.
You can say that too.
Awesome.
We are live, and we are live here in beautiful South Shore of Palm Beach, Florida, which right now the storm isn't just coming, it came and knocked the snot out of it. Did that roll up on you fast or what?
I think kind of bubble kind of stick this.
Oof, it's like what, the amber outside now, you said?
Yeah.
It's amber. What? Oof, gotta be 82, 85 degrees at least. I need to do that. So welcome to our Empire Strikes Back show. This is our second show here, and the reason why I said the Empire Strikes Back is because we're coming back with a little bit of a vengeance, and we hope you like our new setup here. And we are, I guess, live at Palm Beach. I'm with my friend Taylor Levitt, who's hosting with us.
Good day.
And we have Jeff with us, our friend Clee. And we had us, Max. They're going to tell you a little bit about themselves in a moment. I wanted to first of all thank everyone, for tuning in and supporting, and please like and share. This is an experiment in love and trying to help out and be part of a community and make our community a better place, as well as helping a lot of people in the community be able to afford to live in a community. Because business is the backbone of America and entrepreneurship. And I'm lucky enough to have learned enough things to put this together from all the people I've ever done work with and have been friends with, and a lot of them helped me, especially our engineer. I want to shout out right off the bat, JD Coaching and Engineering, and I happen to be married.
Nepotism.
That's it. I'm all right. She's helped me out a lot, especially the last few days. And I just want to thank a few people who really helped me out. Teo and the work that, and I'm really touched, and I don't know what more to say, but we're ready to go with the show here. A lot of people also mentioned to us about their business. I put it up there to see who's really staying on top here. We've got a bunch of people who mentioned their local businesses and would like us to shout us out in a few minutes. So we're going to get to that in a few. And also, too, I would like to put out a little disclaimer. This show is about us talking about things. We're not going to tell you exactly what to do. We're not responsible, essentially. This is for, I guess, comedy and informational services.
Yeah, it's our opinion. There's no warranty.
You know, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want you to.
Information comes with no warranty.
It's like Bugs Bunny. If you see him jump off the bridge, you don't have to follow him too. This is just us discussing local issues and things that we care about and want to make work together, and also help you with your business. So with that, I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Taylor Levitt, who's going to tell you a little bit about his background, and then we're going to go across the panel once you meet our guest. Taylor, take it away.
Hey, good day. Thanks. Hey, thanks everybody for tuning in. We wanted to do a thing about business. I've been an entrepreneur. I have not had a job since 1988, maybe 1989. And I have a web and internet app business, and we've been doing that. I wrote my first book on the internet 4 years before Outdoor Infinity, which I always kind of.
I was going to say that, that's really tough.
Yeah, and it says something about our current political situation. Anyway, but when I moved here, there were 1,178 homes in Apollo Beach, and it was Apollo Beach. We didn't really call it South Shore, and there wasn't a lot. I mean, if you want to do business, you needed to go to Brandon. I mean, back in the day, you throw our coolers in the car and go up to Publix and Brandon to get ice cream and stuff. So
there was no hardware store.
Oh, there was actually. We had a Cox Lumber store. Kind of. I think it's where Slam is now.
Okay.
Right, kind of down by the across from the Apollo Rental Center. But it was pretty desolate. There was no Home Depot. Walmart was where I think Bell's over there by the Walmart or the Home Depot Plaza.
That was what 2019.
2000, 2001, 2002. Mirror Bay was just being announced in 2001, 2002. I think January of 2003 they started opening up so you could come in here. But business has changed. I mean, there's a lot of opportunity for business. When I had my internet business, I didn't have customers. I mean, my customers came from other places. I had other businesses too. I had my own business and some other stuff. So, but we wanted to take this opportunity, just like when I created the Apollo Beach Group. I wanted to grow and let businesses, thrive on the people that are coming in here to your resource. So it's kind of an extension.
Well, that's funny you mention that, because when I came down here and looked at Facebook groups and social media, this is a melting pot. Tampa represents pretty much the demographic of the United States when it comes to everyone living together, ratios of minorities, the ratios of people who speak whatever. And if you look it up, it's pretty true. And I think this was the topic I was going to go to, but I think Apollo Beach, South Shore, because it was so close to everything, and yet it still wasn't very developed.
That's how we ended up here. I had Orlando and Tampa airports. You also had Sarasota and St. Pete for the small stuff. But I picked Apollo Beach because there were there was multiple ways out for hurricane back. As a boat bum, I've lived in a lot of been involved or around third world countries where when there's a hurricane, there is no escaping. And
we were stuck on an island.
And when you're on the East Coast, you got A1A, you got 95, and the West Coast of Florida, we had 41, 75, 301, and it took like 2 minutes to get to 301. Now it takes. I get to Venice. I get down to Venice, and go down to the fish market in Venice, before I get to Brandon.
I want to say hey to Ronnie out there. Also, Judith, for watching the show. Thanks. I know you've got some terrific businesses. Ronnie has a barbecue called Choose Your Cause, and Judith has a marketing business, which I have to say, she does great work. She does advertising, and she does some really nice bump ups. And she also has a credit card taking business too for you.
Merchant
services. Yeah. And she's helped me out. I actually met her online. Yeah, it's funny. But we were in a discussion about something. We hit it off. We were like-minded, and little by little, over the past 18 months, we're business partners now.
Cool.
Without a doubt.
Isn't it amazing how that works on the referral market? Is you kind of meet somebody, and we do business with people we know, like, and trust,
and respect.
And respect.
Can't forget that.
And it needs to be reciprocal, but that's a whole other topic that we want to get into at another time.
Reciprocation, we're giving. You can't always take. That being said, Frank, let's tell everyone a little bit about you, where you're from, and the company that you do.
You know that right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So my name is Frank Baldy. Everybody, most people call me just Frank. It's easier to say. Originally from New York City.
No, really? Yeah. No.
Not at all.
You're in a Buccaneer house there, and you come walking in with your fence right on my head.
Yeah, Lily's house.
I grew up in downtown Manhattan for about born and raised 30 years.
Really?
Downtown Manhattan.
Wow, that's a little different than Apollo Beach.
Yeah.
And you drove over here. Isn't that weird? I mean, a lot of people in Manhattan don't drive, right?
Well, I'll make you laugh. I actually, with my wife, she works in the show. They talk to me about this. I didn't get my license until about, I'm 35 now, so I was 30. Yeah, we got married in 21. We knew we were moving here, and we got married in March of 21. We were moving here in May of 21. We were closing, and during that whole period of time, we were planning the wedding and planning the move. I'm learning how to drive. I know moving here, obviously not here.
Exactly.
I can't walk to Dunkin' Donuts to get a cup of coffee.
If you're working in Manhattan, there's a reason why everything is either downstairs or you're 10 blocks away.
I used to walk everywhere. Subway to work for. I never needed a car.
Could you imagine living in either Tampa or South Shore with no car?
And it's like dumb.
You're dead. I brought that up because I had an employee that was from Manhattan and he didn't know how to drive.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Was his name School?
The thing is,
that's a Northeast joke for everyone out there. Sorry about that.
I drove from time to time and knew how to. It was just more of like actually
Yeah.
a driver's license, and I knew moving here I needed it. So,
Yeah.
All right, so what do you do?
So I am a business consultant for a private payroll company called Landmark Payroll. I am not the owner of the business, but I do work with small business owners every day. And, first I want to say thank you for having me on. So I work with a lot of small business owners every day. We work with any business from the size of 1 employee to about 250, and we're probably at max of 300.
What is the average small business employee count?
For me?
Yeah.
My wheelhouse is probably anywhere between 1 and I would say 20 to 30 that I am, that's what I have the most experience with. Obviously, I target bigger companies.
Sure.
That needs more, revenue.
But you're finding more. Are you finding more companies being the size between 125 rather than companies being 200-300 people?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So more of a boutique.
Yes. Because that's what we are. We like to call ourselves like a boutique.
There you go.
Yep.
So it's relatability when speaking with business owners because they have direct access to me, as opposed to, and I'm in the payroll industry for about 3 years now.
What did you do before?
Completely different. So
All right.
this is another story in itself. Should I rewind a little bit and start there?
Yeah. If you got a second.
Sure. So I'm in Manhattan. I went to school for communications and general years ago. And out of college, I got a job when social media started taking off for Major League Baseball. I worked for MLB doing their social media for all 30 teams, for the league itself.
So you didn't work for a boutique. You worked for
I
a
worked
mono.
for a big box. I guess you want to call
Okay,
it.
so now you're on the other side of the spectrum. This is great.
Yeah, I did that for about 4 years. Moved on from the league aspect of things, and I got a job with a sports agency on the more athlete marketing side of things.
Okay.
So rather than league-wide, it was more catered to our talent roster and helping the athletes with their social media strategies, posting. I work directly, but I don't know if you guys are like golf, but I work directly with Bill Nicholson for a while.
Okay.
His socials, Twitter, Instagram. Was a casualty of a COVID layoff very early in the pandemic. So, and
Billy's playing golf.
it was tough because I was in the middle of wedding planning. We were in the middle of securing the house down here. It was tough to navigate. Had to do some jobs like construction with family and stuff just to stay afloat. Led me down here. I had a friend who was in a similar industry that I am in now. They worked for ADP. I'm sure you guys are familiar with that time. And they seemed to like it, thought it would be a good fit for me. I then, before Landmark, I was working for a big box monthly paychecks.
Sure.
So from there, led me to Landmark. So that's kind of the condensed version of how I got one on that house.
All right, so you were in the industry, and now you're a boutique in the industry.
Yes.
And you're finding more success as an entrepreneur, right, going after customers that the big guys pretty much don't.
It's just so now working with a smaller, there's about, I want to say, I may be incorrect on this, but we have about 35 employees in the company. And working for a privately owned company like this allows me to do things like this, network with, the group that we meet every Wednesday with, and have more flexibility with developing relationships with people that I may not have been allowed to speak to with the bigger company now. I can self-generate my leads and get out there into the field and meet. So I think you said somebody on here was merchant services. Sure. Those are the type of people that I'm speaking to, health insurance brokers, comp brokers, things like that. So I'm allowed to get out into the field, personally meet people, sit down with people like we're talking with today, and just more flexibility and more of me self-generating my business.
Cool. So what kind of challenges do you run into in the sales process? Payroll is one of those interesting things where a lot of entrepreneurs are like, well, I don't really need it, right? I can just go to QuickBooks or whatever.
Yeah.
But, if you make a mistake, if you had to deal with Florida tax, unemployment, et cetera, or even on the federal level with messing up that, 941 and that kind of stuff. It's a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
And until you get burned, you don't understand how much of a challenge. Why you want a company, why you want Frank to deal with that mess so you don't have to.
So, to your point, and one of the things I'm basing most of myself on here, like one of the benefits of outsourcing to a company like us is to mitigate those mistakes that you just mentioned, Sarah. Like people, and a lot of the pushback I received is, we're too small, or we're just handling in-house, or whatever the case may be. And that's totally fine. It may work for some people, but it can be time consuming. So our goal is to put time back into the business owner's day. And a lot of people don't realize that they need a software service like us until they get that letter in the mail from the IRS about a tax mistake that you just mentioned.
But even down back to the time essence is, I remember when I was first starting. Well, it wasn't really starting, but my employee account was billed me and all of this. I had to help her. She goes, well, who does your bookkeeping? I'm like, well, and she's like, well, and then and she was able to demonstrate the fact that it was really costing me like $2,000 a month.
Your time.
Of billable time that I could bill out at $150 an hour back then.
Yeah.
That I was sitting there and I was like, okay, I'm going to try this, it's worth, I'll pay you to do it. And I fell in love with having that outsourced because the only drawback was, for me as an owner, I felt like I was not in control. Right. And that's always a challenge to overcome. But once you can get the entrepreneurs to understand that, okay, I could be doing what I do that generates me money for that 5 hours a month or 10 hours a month or whatever, that's a good benefit.
So, the nice thing about Landmark is that we think of it as it's a collaborative effort, it's a team effort. We're here to help. And we understand that, you, like you said, you want to put time back into your day. So we want you, the business owner, to be as hands-on or as hands-off as possible, or to make it a collaborative effort. So we are there to handle all those aspects that you just mentioned fully. You can lean on us as much as you like. There are people I work with that are just like, I don't want to see it, I don't want to hear about it, just set it and forget it. And then there are people that are more hands-on and they're, they're calling you up and saying, hey, Frank is working whatever 40 hours this week. He's got this bonus, he's doing this, he's doing that. Incorporate that into the payroll, and it's up to us to handle that for them. But you'll be surprised that there are people that utilize our services that we don't hear from them at all.
It's a perfect customer.
It is.
I'm thinking about a gym too. Their first customer is delivered.
Right.
And their facility's there for whether you choose for them or not. If you're running their paperwork and they know what they're doing is being taken care of, they have a lot more time to focus on the business. The depth of a business is micromanaged. And with that, I would like to introduce our next contestant here, Essie Badge, owns Opportunity Services here in Apollo Beach, and she also got a college alumni of mine.
Let's get out of here.
We shared the same desks. We got the same parking tickets. We went to King College, and we are college alumni. And from the first thing I said to her after I asked her that is, how soon did it take you to get a request for alumni money? And she said within a week.
Oh yeah.
It was absolutely, it wasn't even surprising. It was just like, I knew the answer beforehand. I wasn't even done paying for college and they still wanted me to keep it. But again, this goes to King University, Governor King, and grandfather was the first governor of New Jersey. One thing I'll give Governor King, he was the governor of New Jersey. Every day, in the morning before you go into work, he would drive by the family mansion, which was across the street from the college. Stop, park, take his hat, and go into work.
Oh, that's cool.
That's cool as shit. The college was named after him.
Yeah.
Great grandfather. Yeah, King College is badass, and it's also in the hood. So, I graduated in shit. I did young. At least I graduated. I did the John Belushi. I did the 5-year plan. 5 years of college, that was great. I never even picked up my diploma. Yeah. It's $400 a parking ticket, it's $5
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, this entrepreneur had a window cleaning company. I'm like, you know what? I don't need that piece of paper. But that's for another story. But Essie here, we are college buddies, and we met down here through her cousin. And it's a small world. When you really think about how small the world is, we are a total microcosm world here. Small businesses, homeowners, people visiting, family visits. People don't realize if we live on vacation and visit us, we still have to work on our business.
Absolutely.
And you've got a great business. Tell everyone about it.
Yes, I own Optimum Cleaner Services, for type of cleaning.
Residential.
I started doing commercial. I didn't so much. I didn't have the staff.
Well, you know, like anything else, every segment of business has a different way to approach it. My business is also in the industry as well. We work hand in hand in some respects. We're a little more specialized in what we do. We do that specifically. That way we don't step on people's toes, but literally they can step on our floors after we clean. And I own special cleaning supply. We put perfect tile around upholstery. And that being said, we cross over to a lot of the same customers, but we work together. But it's a totally different process from doing residential and doing commercial, just like we do retail and wholesale. Commercial, big areas, bad timing. You have to be there while they're not working.
Right. Yeah, it's over.
It sucks. In return, it takes a toll on you. Residential, the hours are great, but there's a lot of in and out time. You're spending a lot of crap. Where in a commercial job, you go. And that's the big difference. So I can see why commercial business will take, but it kind of sucks. For you, I would like to take the more commercial because we're built for that. We can cover a lot of ground. So, continue.
We do a type of cleaning, and most of our customers are from word of mouth.
Okay. It's important.
It's very important, everyone does their job. People call you.
Well, cleaning's unique. When the economy's down, people clean because they need to make some money. And they're told to keep their place clean, if not fun job. When the economy is banging, the places get dirty, they need people to clean. More manufacturing, more people in the malls, means more cleaning. However, the cream doesn't rise always to the top of the cleaning because it's one of those things that it's so, you can do it yourself if you wanted to, but nobody really wants to. So at that point, your services have to be really, really spot on and consistent.
Well, and I think it's you have to do things the way the customer wants. And you probably remember. So I went through a lot of cleaners back in the day when my wife was sick, and my requirement was actually pretty simple. The bed, I need the bed changed and made properly. Right, the way that my wife wants it.
Yeah.
Because my wife does chemo every day, right? So she comes home, she wants to just climb into bed. We don't want those sheets tied around the side. And we even bought the sheet, we had king size beds. We even bought the sheets to have top and side,
But that's not a standard service for the hospital. So
it was not.
It's not.
And it was amazing. When we went through, we tried 4 or 5 different agencies, and we love what we have now. But it was something where I'm like, this should be simple. Right. As a customer, right? I'm like, and it's my wife and I, right? So we want the bathroom, the 2 bathrooms done. We want our bedroom, maybe my office, maybe not. I want the kitchen, and I want the floor top because I hate mopping all that tile. I feel like pushing around, but it's really. I feel for you, Esther, because you have to find each particular customer and see exactly what they want. Because the reality of it is, like Howard says, I can clean my own house. Good, right? I
can't fix my own computer.
Yeah.
I can't write my own code. I can't do my own payroll. If I did, it would look like Crayola. That's why they have companies like that. Literally, anyone can literally clean their own place. Right. Now they can ruin their own place, but after they do it once or twice, ruining it, they will realize that they're using the wrong stuff.
Well, that's why I don't do my own laundry. I did that right when we got married. My wife, I did laundry once. My wife said, "We're never doing the laundry again."
Yeah, Howard's not allowed to go
So
out there.
I'm not allowed
Right now.
out of that.
But like, she can do cleanouts and stuff for like realtors.
Okay.
And it's
Yeah.
also hard about being, because not every customer will have the same environment.
Right.
Some
That's-
people want
that's
to
awesome
they
about
want
being
wash and
exposed.
fold.
Right.
Now, in the 50s and 60s and stuff like that, I get it. People wore, different kind of clothes, and I wear cargos to work. But 20 years ago, I used to, wear a white shirt and it was ironed in a shirt and tie and a jacket. But nowadays, if someone says to you, Essie, do you do washing and folding?
That's not something I offer.
No.
It's not part of the service.
No, but if somebody,
But
let's
would
say from the,
Well,
the set,
back in the day, when my wife and I first got married, and we had a very large house, thought we would have kids and stuff. And my wife was at executive at American Express, and I had a lot of employees with my software company. Our cleaner came every week, and first thing she did was pull all the towels and sheets and start those, and she would do our laundry while we were there. And so it was great because then we'd come home, and the house would be clean, and the dishes would be washed, whatever was in the sink or whatever, all that would be washed, put away. Our laundry would be.
But I think
What-
that goes hand in
back
hand with
in.
having a small service versus a company.
No,
So
Yeah,
that's
well,
the easy
it
thing.
was one lady. It was just one lady, and she had 8 customers.
Right.
that was the amount of detail.
Oh
And
yeah.
have an understanding that that's what we're supposed to do then. We can't, like I said,
Right. But I mean, that's the
But
point.
these are things
Is
that-
everybody wants different things. So it's cool to be with your own business versus an agency where it's different people coming every week. Oh, that we tried a couple of those, and it was a nightmare because I'm like, okay, how hard is it to make the sheets fit for that?
And that's one of the reasons why we get the word of mouth around here.
Cool.
Because, like, it's always the same face.
Yeah. Now how long have you been here?
I've been here since 2013. I started
Okay.
doing business right before COVID. Because
Wow.
I used to have a cleaning company back in New Jersey.
Okay.
2002 when I was going to school, but I was in the background. I had other people doing it for me, and once I retired, 2018, I started it, but it was like more house here and there because something I love doing.
But residential up north is not like it is down here.
It's not,
It's another different animal. When I moved down here, I knew how to clean carpets and I knew how to strip and wax floors. But I'll tell you what, I didn't know how to clean ground.
Right.
Because up north, all the ground's covered with wax. And all they do is buff it and buff it and buff it. And when it's dirty, they put on more wax. If you put wax down on the floor down here, the second Billy comes out of the pool, he's going to be zipping across the room and smack his head into a counter.
Oh yeah, the grout thing is a totally different animal, and it's amazing. There's very few people that can clean grout. They say they can clean grout, but it's that's an art form.
I think the other thing too is up north, we have less tile than down here. I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so you move down here, you're cleaning these places, and you're like, okay, I got to clean this tile. So this is.
that's when you come in out.
Yeah.
It's funny. People are like, I want a shiny floor. And I'm like, you live in Florida. You're never going to have a shiny floor. You don't understand that? And they're like, but this is what I want. I'm like, that's great. You need hazel then. You need a livid. And at this
Oh,
point,
we're on the other camera.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Yeah, so we're not paying attention to the camera. We gotta put those little lights up. We have camera 1, camera 2.
the next technology
I'm
was,
just
I'm
gonna
looking
get
at this for.
I know, it's working well. I'm pretty pleased. Good job on that.
So we're going to take a break right now. Right
Did
now.
you have anything else to say?
We'll come back to us in a second. I want to shout out a few people. Haley, thanks for watching. Also, who else is up there? Brando.
Brando,
Hey, Brando.
good to talk to you again the other day.
Jeff Moss was,
He said that he is Dallas.
yeah,
He's a Cowboy fan.
go Chiefs.
Cowboys.
Dallas
Do
fan.
they have a team?
8-8. You know what? It's funny you should say that. I'm gonna shout Brando.
Sorry, Brando, I apologize, man.
Well,
Aldo,
he's
with
getting
water,
beat up
something, coffee.
today.
We gotta get Aldo on the boat. Jeffrey, good to talk to you again.
We're going to take
Jeremy, we gotta get him on the boat too.
cards and coffee in a moment or two.
Yeah, I just
We're
took
gonna
commercial
about
for that.
their event every Wednesday here, every second Wednesday, every second Saturday
Yeah.
at Watersett. They are here from 8 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock. And some of the badass cars in the neighborhood. All the guys that take care of the vehicles, work hard all week to have this thing, and then you take it out and go for a snack and go home and baby it again. These cars are incredible. I think I saw a Bricklin out there.
Oh, you know, there's great cars. You got a Bricklin car, dude. I do. I gotta get the fuel injection dialed in. I've been missing. But I actually drive the crap out of my car.
Well,
it's
yeah,
like
big
it's not a daily driver, but it does see 6,000-7,000 miles a year on that. So.
That being said, let's
We gotta get to the commercial. We're getting yelled at by our producers.
I happen to be here with Aldo, who's in charge and runs the Cars and Coffee here in Waterset, which is a local phenomenon, which is kicking butt here and is a free event. He's going to tell you all about it. Hold tight.
Guys, my name is Aldo. I run the Waterset Cars and Coffee every second Saturday of the month from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. We're here every second Saturday of the month at the landing in Waterset.
What's it cost, Aldo?
Nothing. Here's the only thing I'm going to ask.
There you go.
Like cool cars, cool motorcycles. It doesn't matter if it's a classic, an exotic. It doesn't matter what it is. Come here. We need cool cars and cool people. If you're cool, you got to come over here.
You're welcome here.
Second Saturday of the month. Check it out. We have the food truck. We have White Claw. We have the vendors. Free coffee. We always have
I love the
everything.
Ackie. You know I'm a Honda guy.
Yes, yes. So check out the Acura NSXs, the Cybertruck, everything. And guys, follow us. Follow us, Waterset Cars and Coffee, in Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Waterset Cars and Coffee every second Saturday of the month, 8 to 10 a.m. Have a great day, guys.
Check him out on South Shore Live, too.
Boom.
Today's featured home is in the desirable community of Waterset. It's nestled in a cozy little cul-de-sac. This home is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with 2,538 square feet, complete with a pool and a spa in your very own beautiful backyard. The Waterset community has dog parks, pools, miles of walking trails, gyms, tennis courts, and more. To know more about this home, give me a call. My number is 702-858-5454.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. How about that beautiful house here in Waterset, which is for sale? It's stunning home here, cool home with a built-in bar and a drink. So, SD brought our own cigars.
There you go.
She sure did. So
Light it up.
continue, Rusty. So tell us a little bit more about where you're from originally.
I was born in Haiti.
Okay.
I came here when I was 14. She left us in the caretaker of 5 days. She had 5 girls
Wow. Okay.
for each of us. And when she brought us here, we are actually upset that she brought us here because now we have to do everything ourselves.
Oh, you were living in New York.
So what was so I was a boat bum, so I spent several years sailing around the world and spent time in the Dominican and Haiti. And the parts of Haiti I saw were very, I guess depressed would be the right word. So it had to be going to New York or New Jersey, that had to be incredible culture shock. I mean, not some culture shock from the language point of view, but just wow.
You know, actually,
Or were you in a larger town
Actually,
so
I
you
was,
saw
yes,
more of the buildings?
like I said, I was question. Remember, Haiti have 2 classes. You're the rich or you poor.
Right.
So
So were you the rich?
Those places, my father was the
Oh.
was one of the head manager for Nexus.
Oh, okay. So you had a normal. So you had a normal life. What we would like as America would be a normal life in Haiti coming here versus the poor part.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's cool.
It was kind of crazy. We got bullied in school.
Oh, I'm sure.
White was one of our classmates. He used to get bullied as
Oh.
well.
Okay.
You know, it does good. And then after, you know, I eventually got married and my children, then I decided to go to school. And he said, start a college for him to study.
Okay.
And I was working for an attorney and then doing legal research. And then eventually he moved and I couldn't move. So I started working for New Jersey Bell at the time. Yeah. I was in Wickham.
Okay.
Yes.
So what's that? Baruchat?
Yes, and then after they said my section where I was working decided to move to Denver. And they gave me a choice of, you know, relocating, but at the time I couldn't do it.
What's the Broncos suck? So I get it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's when I started the shipping business.
Okay.
Yes, and then I said, you know what? I'm gonna go back to school.
Yep. So now, how many employees do you have? Employees? That work
Yes,
for you?
it's 4 of us.
Okay.
Yes, I could expand, but it's a big challenge trying to find somebody you can trust and you're gonna do it the way you want it to.
You know, it's funny, you bring that up. I had a big blowout yesterday. We had a pretty large project and it had to go live at exactly 9:45 a.m. yesterday. And it's because it's for an event and they had done all this publicity. And in my mind, my employees should be, everyone should be logged in 10 minutes early. You know, we checked in at 5:45 in the morning. Is everyone set? Is everything ready? Yep, okay. 8 o'clock. Is everybody ready for 9:45? Right. So I'm micromanaging to the point where I'm like, okay, is everyone logged in? Well, my lead developer, his computer crashed at 9:43. So I'm like, okay, what do we need to do? We're all messaging everything else. So it's like, okay, it's going to publish, but we got to change this thing. And then one of my employees, who's been with me for a couple of years, is like, oh, let me log in. I'm like, how are you not logged in? I'm like, and granted, she's isolated in that she has a specific role and that's what her role is, but I want my whole team to be able to step in and cover somebody else. And, you know, I'll be brutally honest, I just lost my shit because I'm like, I don't care who you are, I want my entire company ready to go with this button. Because, like this one customer, you know, this project pays payroll for, you know, 3 or 4 months. You know, I mean, it's a good sized deal. And to be like we had built a cushion and so everything was fine. But I go into a minute panic mode. So I can't imagine, you know, trying to expand and get a new member of the team is really difficult. And you probably see this, people aren't exactly honest with their skill level. They think they do a good job, absolutely, but it's a different work ethic than, I mean, I'm 59 and my work ethic is completely different than somebody that's 25 or 30.
You can run rings around someone who's 20 or 30 years
Oh,
old.
I never thought that would be the case. I thought they would, you know, when I was 9, I saw anybody. Oh yeah,
Well, that was the whole thing. They were kids that waited for their parents to get it for them, or they were kids that just busted ass and got it for themselves. And those were the kids that became entrepreneurs, and they were in control of their own destiny. You know, they say if you don't, what's that line? If you love what you're doing, you never work.
Right.
Well, it's true, but you know what? If you love what you're doing, or you're doing something for yourself, then you don't have to deal with somebody else making your life horrible, making them money. You know?
Well,
and true to that, though, it's the bigger companies that can afford to go which is insane.
And I'm like, I don't even make that much. You know, I mean, I can't. I mean,
My web guy told me,
you know,
that they're spending manly meters on the sponsored ad, throwing something like 22 times more a month than I do.
right? Just for your local area.
Just for
Your local area. It's absolutely staggering the money that gets thrown into there. And so the only thing I can come up with is to find the little niches. My website's ranked very, very well organic. But unfortunately, the way Google has set it up is
Changed it.
those ads. But even though I'm on page one, I have 63 search terms. Right? I'm on page one for 51 or 52 of those 63. I'm on page one. And for 38 of them, I'm first or second. But they're still going to see 6 ads before my top ranking.
Correct, because they paid more money.
Because they pay for the ads, and so that's a challenge. So we're working it organically to try to grow that. But I want to shift for just a second. Or well, actually, Frank, do you have something to say on that, or
Okay.
how do you market other than referrals and stuff like that?
So it's the company as a whole. We're probably, we need to dabble more into. I know we're on Facebook. We need to get more involved in social media. We have a website. For me, like it's left up to the sales rep myself or business consultant.
Right.
You got door to door.
I do.
Oh no, business.
Business to business.
I like to talk to your.
I go out. I get blown out of places.
Oh,
Sometimes. I'm more comfortable getting, developing relationships. So as I said earlier, we develop a lot of partnerships with people in merchant services or health insurance, workers' comp, 401k, where I can build the trust or I can get involved in networking groups like we are having and meet local people looking for different services as to where, when I first started payroll, I wasn't allowed to do that. I was just in front of a computer with a call list of thousands of leads, dialing. Now I've expanded a little bit more.
You also learn the business of it too.
Yes.
You learn terms, people on the phone say things that you don't know about.
Right.
They try to get smart with you and say, then I don't need you, thank you very much. You gotta cut your teeth somewhere.
So here, it's finding, for me now, it's just finding the right balance of all of those avenues of generating business, whether it be going door to door or getting on the phone from home and dialing or co-rolling the list or meeting different partners and developing relationships with other people.
So I want to, if we can go on a topic here,
Sure.
Cold calling, right? So I get calls a lot for people that want me to invest in their business, right? And I kind of laugh because they're all like, well, you got all this money. Well, I don't. Maybe at one point I did, but anyway. So they all want me to invest. And the first thing I do is I go, well, have you taken out a home equity loan or a loan on your house to do that? And they go, well, no, I'm not going to risk my house. I'm not going to risk my money, right? Well, I go back to like when.
How awesome is that?
Oh, yeah, that's like my first thing. Like, if you're not going to risk your house, why should I risk my money investing in your business? But the cold calling is interesting. So I had a marine business, and due to crooked attorney and a bunch of other stuff, I lost the business, and I had to restart my computer web business from scratch. And it's like the most bizarre thing to wake up one day and be like, the night before, you're on the top of the world, right? Driving around in the limo and everything else is good. And the next day, you're driving, a $500 pickup truck without windows that work or air conditioning.
Hey, it's Florida, you can do that.
But you know what?
There's no inspection.
You can have a call for that.
This is New Jersey or New York.
And it's funny because people are like, well, how do you start this business? And I want to go back to this because this is good advice for anybody starting a business because it absolutely works. I did not have, I printed business cards because my business cards are old, and I had some miscellaneous card stock from leftover booklet inserts that we did, and I printed those up and used the knuckle buster machete paper cutter and cut business cards, right? Because this is how bad it was. I lost so much. We were so broke. We started from absolutely nothing. Yeah. And I didn't have the $35 to go to Staples and buy the full apart business card, right?
Yeah.
And it was going to take like 2 weeks to get the free VistaPrint cards or whatever.
$20.
So I printed up business cards, and I filled up a couple of water bottles from the tap and made some like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And I went to Office Parks and I cold called. I said, I'm going to take 100 no's, right? So I went and I knocked on 100 doors. And the first day, Monday morning, I started at 9 a.m. And it was in April, so it wasn't super hot. And I went door to door until I got kicked out of 100 places. And I got kicked out of 100 places.
Oh, yeah.
Can't you read the freaking sign?
Those delicious,
right? And that first day was torture, man. I wanted to cry. I mean, I was like, oh, this sucks. And the next day, I got to 98 and I ran out of time. So I didn't get to 100. And the third day I got to like 50. And I fine-tuned my speech, right? My spiel. Well, do you know somebody else that's pissed at the web guy? Or do you know somebody else? And I adjusted that. And at the end of the week, I had enough business for 3 months. And I've cold called maybe 3 or 4 times since then. But if you want to start a business, I'm sorry. Pick up the damn phone, get in your car, and knock on doors. And phone calls, it's so easy for them just to hang up. But to knock on the doors and you build that face-to-face, and you can see the reaction from the people telling you to get the hell off their porch, right? And it is, if people aren't willing to do that, don't ask me for help, because I want you to experience that, because I did, and it paid off. And I'm not trying to say that's for everybody, but you will learn so much from knocking on doors. And
I think I told you this. I had a window cleaning business in Princeton, New Jersey, downtown.
dude, talk about rude people.
Oh my God.
I will say this, I wish every one of you were patient.
And the first day, I went down Witherspoon Street, Nassau Street, every place in Princeton. And I said, when I come clean your windows, how it's $10. I'll be here 4 times a month for $10. And Frame Shop, Princeton Frame Shop gave me a shot. Within 3 weeks of me being in Princeton in the springtime, I had over 150 stores at 10 to 20 to 50 to $100 a shot cleaning windows. I'm going to tell you, I was 22 years old. If I show up all the time, every time I'm time, no. But I did that. And I got beat up. Even the meter maid was just screwing with me because she just knew how much I was like Spider-Man in this. But you have to entrench yourself and take that beating. And then, after all that, on my way home one day, I was in a car accident. And I was hurt for like 6 weeks. Being that I was in a service business, the windows are dirty, let's get somebody else. So then that's where I stepped into my next thing. You never know what brings you in. And I got a job working for a manufacturer.
And then you became my
I got beat up all the time on the street. I had no problem getting beat up on the phone.
Right.
And then my boss, rather than buying the phone books, dropped me off to the library, gave me 2 stacks of dimes, and I went and I photocopied every janitorial supply place in the New York metropolitan area, and then that was my call.
That was exactly how I started my software company. We had a vertical software product, and went to the library, pulled up the yellow pages of all the phone books and copied them, and came back, and that's actually where I got the 100 calls a day.
Yep, that's how you do it. There was
back,
no internet.
There was 5 years ago.
Searches, you were the search.
And cold calling is the bomb. I mean, it sucks. I mean, everyone will tell you it sucks. But if you're willing to put in a little time, the payoff is unbelievable.
And the thrill of the kill. Yep. When somebody says yes, you're like,
really? Oh yeah. Well, it's like we've been I've been working with my project manager to get on this podcast, and she's like, oh, I called a couple and they say no, or this week we want $5 an hour. I'm like, keep doing it, and then now we got the first one, now another one, and they just trickle. And it's so funny because it's like, you can't give up. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to call 5 and go. No, You got to say, I'm going to burn through. And in my case, we're going to do. I want my employees to my salespeople to contact 5 to 10 a day. Every day, I don't care, 5 to 10. And if you don't do at least 5, I'm going to be up your butt.
What are you doing?
Well, I will say this.
It's not just posting on social media. I can give a crap about that. I mean, we got to do that too. But
it's the whole package.
You have to make those phone calls. I mean,
Back in the early 2000s, I
on
worked.
top of that, though, the work that you do, it's got to be quality. On top of being managing yourself, pushing yourself, paying your bills, getting out there, coming up with your marketing material, making the appointment, following through, getting your supply, doing the job, getting paid. It doesn't count until you get paid.
All the way through.
Can I
And
say-
you have to make it easy for people to buy from you. I put a new roof on today. Actually, they finished up, and it was shocking how many people. You have to half were like Johnny on the spot. They're really good. The other half were like, oh, we'll do a quality roof, and here's the price. Okay, what's the details? And you're like pulling teeth trying to find out information, and. They're like, it's a roof. Yeah, it's a roof on freaking $1 million house. It's like my house. And
Well, at the end of the day, it is your home, and they need to.
and it's like, give me the details. I mean, they're legitimate questions, and it was like you're made to feel like a third-class citizen because how dare you question what they're going to provide? And I'm like, and they're not all the same. It was funny. Pulling off the old roof, I thought I had peel and stick and the upgraded water barrier, and I just had normal felt before. And that was I was surprised because I distinctly remember that conversation, and I was gone when it was put on, and I'm like, oh, I missed that.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
And I bet you they charged you for it too.
They did. I pulled back the paperwork. So it was kind of interesting. I was more involved with this process, but you got to make it easy for people who want to do business with.
I will say this: going back in the day when I worked for a company called Computers, they're not in business anymore. Back then, we sold candles and sconces and crap for your walls and a lot of Gucci kind of little stuff to make your house look pretty. Their theory was back then in the early 2000s, for every 100 you get one. To go out and go to 100, because we used to have these little candles that were $5 a piece, and we would give back $1 for every candle if it was a fundraising event.
Mm-hmm.
And they said for every 100 companies you go to for fundraising, you'll get one.
Right.
And their numbers were absolutely right. I would hit 500 different daycares or schools or whatever, and for every 100, you got one fundraiser. So I'd make $1, they'd make $1, the company would have something.
Right.
But that is honestly, and I'm in real estate now and I'm in coaching, for every 100 you get one. If your ratios are any better, then you're right on the money. You're really doing well.
Rebates are 2%. I mean, the national rebates and coupons are 1.5% to 2% of return. And they're happy with that.
Yeah, and it used to be, bulk mail and everything else was a 3% response rate. And it's less now because everyone is so tuned out, and it's so easy for people just to ignore. The thing that was shocking to me were the people that wanted to text back, what do you need? What do you need? Call me. I still want to talk to somebody.
I do.
And
we dropped a company. We just dropped a company 2 days ago. Because there was no way that you could talk to them. And so, we don't offer the service. And I thought about aligning myself with a business. I want to make sure they got technical support.
And it was literally podcasting.
Bullshit. And it's funny, my main competition on the fundraising side, there are no phone numbers. They don't have a phone number at all. And it's a chat bot. And I'm anal about it. I'm answer my employees. I'm if the phone rings, I don't care what you're doing. Freaking answer the phone. You don't answer the phone. Answer the phone.
I deal with airlines based on the fact that I go to Delta and American, and I really they're all having issues right now. I go to Delta and American because they will give me better than JetBlue and Frontier, and now Southwest is the same way.
Let's go back. We're going to go back to the topic here.
Yeah.
So real quick, I want to shout out a few of the people who are watching the show right now. Tina Delgado from NPS Aesthetics. Again, Judith Bordero from her company, which is Credit Card Process Company. All Four Boys Landscaping, local landscaper here, and also my co-host with Happy Buds on Saturday nights here on a different network, but you can also watch it on this channel here, which is a little bit different atmosphere, not so business oriented, a little bit more fun and now that
By
was
the way, it's 76 degrees down on the beach.
Yeah, that was within a mile.
we got Lauren Sharp, she's a local leader, the first Ronnie K, and then we've got Robbie from Coastal Living.
Yeah, Robbie Masfield.
There you go.
Good friend of mine. We should have him on.
What's that, Mo?
He's they have a real estate business and they do a lot down in Bradenton and Bradenton. So
Nice.
right on the beaches.
We have Claudia who does airport rides. I gotta tell you, one thing that again back to South Shore and Palm Beach, all these things, all these niche jobs, all these jobs. Where I lived and I came from, people did them themselves. They would fertilize their own lawn. They'd cut their own lawn. They would drive themselves to the airport. They'd pick up their own dog food. But here, it's a totally different animal. Like again, with that, when you lived up north and you had someone come to clean your house, oh, you're loaded.
Yeah, we didn't do
Oh
that.
my gosh.
Yeah.
You're like, really? The girl's coming? Yeah. And you're like, really? Here, I would say 50% of people have house cleaners coming.
Oh, yeah. And same with the lawn thing. And I would get
The lawn?
with kids.
Cool.
We had kids. We had kids over going on the Institute this weekend, and we were like, and I'm like, hey, make sure you guys get the lawn, and then you got to pay attention to get down. They're like, oh, we have a service. I'm like, you're 13.
Cut down the lawn.
You should be cutting the lawn.
Yeah.
And that has always been a shocker to me that at some point our culture has shifted.
I agree.
Because I'm like, the kids should be learning that. And that's just me. I
You
don't
had a
know.
kid? You
Yeah.
just had a kid? You go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
But our
You
son,
don't get the Fisher Price, but I'd say, dude,
Our
you
son-
get the real deal.
our son and daughter always had chores. There was never, and
Oh,
they did not get paid. That was for living in the house, for being a member of the community in the house. It was not, they got allowance for doing extra things. But there were certain things
Oh,
they
yeah.
had to do just because
Money goes along.
they belonged to the house and they wanted to eat, they wanted to sleep, they wanted to do. Here I have learned, a lot of people are entrepreneurs and you have to decide what is worth your time and what is worth paying back out. It is
Right.
not worth a lot of entrepreneurs to do their own lawn. Because they're making $150, they can pay somebody else $25 a week to do their lawn.
Excuse me, we have an alert. The storm is coming to your homes. Are you okay?
Hey,
The rock here with some lightning and thunder that literally shook the damn house.
it probably hit some house close by. It was literally it was right here.
Dude, the window was white.
Yeah. Well,
Hey,
the lightning and the thunder were instantaneous.
Correct. There was no time. It's pretty bad. And that brings me to my next question. I was going to go to a break. So I'm going to What brought you to South Shore? I mean, you throw a dart in a map. It is the most obscure place in the world. Hold on. What about you? You are watching things about that. We're going to go to a break in a second. We got a holy AF. Are you guys okay? Yeah. It's crazy loud outside. So it looks like I said, we're going to take a break. Put up some local entrepreneurs and business partners here for you to learn about them. Also, tell your friends to watch the show. We're going to be on Tuesday night at 7 o'clock, 7:30, probably close to 7. And any input you have, any questions you have, if we can help you with your business and you're struggling, give us a call. We'll give you some ideas. Can we go that way?
Yeah, absolutely. And then, so we'll do the commercial.
Have you taken a meeting in business? Are you willing to help somebody out?
Yeah.
Of course. I've taken a meeting in business. I'm willing to help somebody out as well to help us.
So we'll go to commercial. We'll come back. We'll just do why we end up South Shore, and then we'll wrap it up. Thanks, guys.
Did you know that South Shore Cleaning and Supply is locally owned and operated for over 5 years? Oh, there's Howard the owner. Everyone say hi to Howard. You also might have seen one of their vehicles around town. They offer a variety of cleaning services from carpets to tile and grout, laminate and wood floorings, as well as pet remediation and much more. Call today for a free estimate at 8133-642185.
Welcome to your new home in Waterset. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single-family home in the sought-after community of Waterset. With a low HOA and tons of amenities in the community, you will absolutely love living in this house. Love this house. See it in your eyes. Give me a call at 702-858-5454 and I'll show it to you in person.
I happen to be here with Aldo, who's in charge and runs the Cars and Coffee here in Waterset, which is a local phenomenon, which is kicking butt here and is a free event. He's going to tell you all about it. Hold tight.
Guys, my name is Aldo. I run the Waterset Cars and Coffee every second Saturday of the month from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. We're here every second Saturday of the month at the landing in Waterset.
What's it cost, Aldo?
Nothing. Here's the only thing I'm going to ask.
There you go.
If you like cool cars, cool motorcycles. It doesn't matter if it's a classic, an exotic. It doesn't matter what it is. Come here. We need cool cars and cool people. If you're cool, you got to come over here.
You're welcome here.
Second Saturday of the month. Check it out. We have the food truck. We have White Claw. We have the vendors. Free coffee. We always have everything.
I love the Ackie. You know I'm a Honda guy.
Yes, yes. So check out the Acura NSXs, the Cybertruck, everything. And guys, follow us. Follow us, Waterset Cars and Coffee, in Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Waterset Cars and Coffee every second Saturday of the month, 8 to 10 a.m. Have a great day, guys.
Check him out on South Shore Live, too.
Boom.
Today's featured home is in the desirable community of Waterset. It's nestled in a cozy little cul-de-sac. This home is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with 2,538 square feet, complete with a pool and a spa in your very own beautiful backyard. The Waterset community has dog parks, pools, miles of walking trails, gyms, tennis courts, and more. To know more about this home, give me a call. My number is 702-858-5454.
Yeah.
Alrighty, and we're back. And first of all, I want to thank everyone for watching the show this evening, taking some time, even a little bit of time with us. If you like it, please tell a friend. Please share it to your friends. If you have any interest in joining our show live, coming into the show, or even remotely, we would love to have you over here. We're planning on trying to make this a great community, and for you to be part of it, you also have to join and give us some ideas. I want to first of all thank our guests for coming, not only Randy right the second, but before I forget, I want to thank Frank, I want to thank Bessie, I want to thank Sam for taking the time, you guys for taking the time, I want to thank Joanne, and also everyone who's gotten us to this point. We appreciate everything. The businesses around here, Pool Kings, great supporter of our Pool Kings, great supporter of our show and all of our efforts. Core Boys as well, landscaping, great supporter of our show. Adrian Ritchie with AMR Style Bar, fantastic. Also, South Shore Yard Signs. These are all people that we've all know, like, trust, and respect that are great local businesses here in the South Shore area that you can look on this page. You can add your business. And trust me, this is, you know, if you're going to offer a business here, people do say things. People will hold you account. People will call you out if you don't do your part as a vendor. And also, if you don't do your part as a customer, some people will call you out here and say, you know, you've gone through this person, we all know each other, we're all local. What do you want to spend your $150 a month for? Because apparently no one's making you happy, right? Which happens as well, too. So, and then we're just going to go to our next finishing topic, which was
What brought us to South Shore?
what brought us to South Shore. For me, I'm a Buccaneer fan. I grew up in Tampa as a kid. The happiest place I ever was as a kid was Tampa because it was warm. I used to walk on cobblestones. I met my wife. I said we're going to be married. One day we're going to move back to Tampa. It's beautiful there. And I'm at ease here. A few of the things I learned when I came from up north, when I lived here as a kid, it had to be done now. Now. Hear this tomorrow. It'll get done. It'll get done. You can do it tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's not like the pressure is so insane. and the growth, the potential, and the idea of everyone coming from other places and realizing that those places are okie dokie, but I want a fresh start here, so I'm not going to use your.
Right.
And I like that too, because no one knows your past unless you bring your past with you. Yeah. So that's nice. You find out about people later while you know, get to know them, but at least you're at a fresh start. I didn't go to high school with any of these people. I didn't go to high school with you. You didn't go to high school with you. You didn't go to fun again. You know, it's not because, you know, so, and that's what networking is. Nobody grew up around here, so you want to meet people that are like-minded, that you trust, that you respect. That's why I came to South Shore. Plus the weather and the rocks. Yeah. And since I first met you, what did I say? I play drums. I love the box.
Exactly.
That's it. And I partake in something else which we're not.
Yeah.
But that being said, and you got to be real. Be yourself. I myself, you know, you just want to. What brought you?
Yeah.
What brought New York?
Yeah.
Straight out Manhattan.
Yeah.
So if anybody here knows what needed New Yorkers, we are kind of caught and stuck within our bubble and very stubborn with leaving. So my wife, Alyssa, by the way, shout out to my wife.
There you go.
Owner of Talk About Pediatric Therapy. She's been fantastic.
Which is a great business.
Oh, cool.
She went to school at the University of Tampa, and I think subconsciously over there she was back.
But she loved it.
Loved it.
And you're here now for what, 4 years? How do you like it?
It's the best decision we ever made.
There you go.
She, you know, all it took was one Facebook ad on Waterset for her to see. She showed it to me. We bought our house without actually visiting here because it's in the middle of COVID with all the travel restrictions. Okay. But, you know, I took a look around the map, knew it was close to Tampa. I visited Tampa before, loved the area. And just by visiting, once we eventually got here, it looked like this area was up and coming before I even knew it was called South Shore. I just knew that's supposed to be
diamond in the rough.
and
You wish you could have bought every house here.
I love it here. My wife loves it
Every
here.
building, every house, every 7-Eleven, every Publix. You wish you could have bought 1 or 10 years ago.
Thrilled we're bringing us on here, and I don't regret one thing about it. It's incredible. We love it.
Cool. Slow growth. It's a slow growth.
That's it.
What brought you? What made you run away from beautiful Elizabeth, New Jersey?
No, I was living in Nickel, New Jersey.
Okay. Okay. You know the difference between Maplewood, New Jersey?
Is there a difference? New Jersey's New Jersey, right? It's like snows up there.
About a quarter mile. That's the difference.
Oh, it's like Riverview, Northwest.
Yes.
Well, I came down here. My son was going to university.
Which
Down
one?
here, my first son is
What college?
US.
Okay. Go Bulls.
Yes, because he was getting his he had a master's there. He was working at the school district, and he wanted to go and get his doctorate. So I said, you know what? I'm going to buy a house to help you out.
I think we lost.
So,
We lost it.
yeah.
We lost it.
How did it say?
From the. Well, maybe from the storm.
Well, maybe because
Are we back?
Is it back? Okay. Yeah, a little internet glitch from the storm.
yeah, it's got.
So your son was going to visit. You said, screw the cold, I'm coming to
No,
the
you know,
beach.
I actually bought a house here 2 years before I moved.
Okay.
Because I didn't sell my house in New Jersey yet.
I got
So my son was staying at the house for me, and it was when everything was down. I eventually doubled my money in 5 years in that house.
cool.
Nice.
And then I bought the house that I'm in now.
That's what you do.
Yes.
Cool.
We got lucky.
This was a bargain. This whole area was beyond a bargain.
So, and then I'll wrap it up. And we'll
Gotcha.
So I was folk mom. I came from California, Minnesota, and I was commuting back and forth from San Diego to Minneapolis, and I met my wife, and so I'm like, I am not going to stay in Minneapolis. There's no way. I never spent a weekend in Minneapolis. You know, it was just Monday to Thursday every other week, and then as it started to get cold, my wife gave me all this flannel and stuff. I'm like, I know where I'm going. And I'm like, okay, it wasn't so bad. But we were gone a lot. We had a place on Jet Lounge, vacation home, and then still had the boat and everything in California so meeting, but I'm like, I need to get out of Minnesota. We were there for 5 years. And I was looking for, and I'm a sailboat guy, right? So I was looking for sailboat one at a marine business. So at a factory in St. Pete, or a warehouse in St. Pete, factory and warehouse down by Fort Lauderdale.
They actually manufacture the product?
No, we manufactured it in, we stored and distributed.
Okay, so it's
And
manufactured. Okay,
it was manufactured, in South Carolina, where I'll be
Okay.
tomorrow. I'm actually gonna.
Okay, so it's manufactured in America.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's cool.
And I had some in China after the fact, which was funny. People get me back about in China. I went to China not for cost savings, but for quality. I was having a big problem with the factory in Kansas with the union and the quality. And they're like, well, tough shit, just take what you get. And I'm like, I need better quality. And so my connectors and stuff I ended up making in China. But anyway, I was looking for waterfront. I wanted a place for my sailboat from basically Oriental, North Carolina, all the way to Galveston Bay. And the more I researched the hurricane patterns, the cost of living, Apollo Beach just kind of jumped out. And we looked at, we kind of narrowed it down from Fort Myers, Cape Coral, South Fort Myers Beach, to Newport Richey, Hudson. And we ended up picking Apollo Beach just off the internet, flew down.
Us too.
And ended up buying a house. We wanted to buy this house, but couldn't get the realtor to make the offer. So then we fired that realtor, brought in a new one, wrote a check in the driveway, and then came down like 3 months later and moved here. And we fell in love with it.
Once I came down here after a few weeks and visited, I'm like, I can't live. I can't be anywhere else. I gotta be here.
My house to have my sailboat here, I mean, would have been $8 to $10 million in California for, you know, a fraction of that here. And Clearwater, I didn't like the traffic situation. You know, we looked at like, you know,
it's
if
towny.
you went to like the Anna Maria or Tierra, you're in and out. And Apollo Beach, just back then there were 1,178 homes here. There was no Mirror Bay, there was no Bimini Bay. There, you know, we shot a hog right here in Waterset, probably like where your house is.
Yeah, I was told that this was all tomato fields and hogs running through here.
Oh yeah, there are hogs all the time, and you know we come out and shoot a hog, and you know,
well, how you like
in the
that?
Backyard.
How you like that, city boy? Dude.
Not even 8 years ago, and they're wild boar everywhere.
Yes.
I couldn't even get in my car one night.
I drove my e-bike all through this area
and
here.
Ruskin, you'd pull out, and yeah,
and I drove through everyone's house before it was built.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just that flat and that empty. It's funny. My bicycle was in your living room, dude.
Yeah.
You know,
there was and all those neighborhoods in Ruskin, you know, it took like 2 minutes to get to Sun City.
Oh, even
there was nothing here, and it
was a ghost town,
farmland and everything else. But that's what brought me here, and you know, I just want to we'll wrap it up because we're over time. But I want to thank everybody for watching. Thanks, Howard. This is a great. Howard and I are having a blast doing this. Thank you for being our guest today. And for the people watching, if you want to feature your business, if you want to talk about business, current events, things like that, Ronnie, we should probably talk about your barbecue stuff.
Oh, without a doubt.
You know, reach out to Howard and I, and we'll get you scheduled. And we just appreciate everybody. And if you have ideas on how to help people grow their businesses, let us know, because we just want to share that knowledge. You know, Howard and I have been successful with our entrepreneurship, and if we can help others, we want to do that.
Someone gave me a start. Another person helped me along the way. Another person tripped me, but they all helped me so I could never not have to be unself-reliant. Self-reliance is the probably biggest force that you can have, because being a burden to somebody is not very good.
No.
And I think who was it? Wasn't Tony? I was trying to think. It was Tony. I'm trying to think who he was. And I was about 11 years old, and I was watching his talk show, and it was not Tony Robbins, and he had a show on PBS, and he explained what self-reliance was, and it just, I'm like, you know what? I don't want to have to ever depend on anyone but myself.
You know, and I'll wrap it up. We'll wrap it up with You brought up Tony Robbins. So that'll be tomorrow. I'm driving up to Greenville, South Carolina to eat dinner at my favorite restaurant. And then I'm going to Gettysburg for a cigar tour.
Nice.
And hanging out, doing cigars and enjoying a sip of whiskey at different parts of the battle site for 4 days with a bunch of friends of mine.
Legit.
But I actually will do the personal power, the 30 days, the 30 hours while I'm driving. And that's a good program. If you haven't done it, I highly recommend it. It's not exactly cheap, but it brings everything into the forefront of your mind. And I always crack up because then my sales will double or triple just by re-listening to the stuff of back when I took the original Tony Robbins course, I don't know, 30 years ago. So if you're looking for good books and the library, you can do books on tape and do, so he doesn't have his personal power, but his other books have a kind of a synopsis of it. And, it's good information. It's common sense. It really is. There's nothing unique
And diligence
in his teaching, but he has a way of motivating you where he snaps you into that. Oh, I need to do that. I'm going to take care of those 3 things I've been procrastinating. And you do that while you're driving. And it's a good deal.
So good night, everybody. Thank you again, Essie. Thank you again,
guys,
Frank,
for joining us.
If you need payroll services or any advice on that situation, reach out to Frank. If you need your house cleaned or you have a move out or a move in, make sure you reach out to Essie. She does fantastic work. If you need your carpets, if you need your tile, you need your grout clean, you need some upholstery and occasionally windows, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to my son-in-law, Todd, or my son, Bruce. We're a family-owned, local grown company here in Apollo Beach, South Shore Cleaning and Supply. And of course, Teo Services are.
And if you need a website and web development or applications, we also do internet apps. Or if you have a charity and you're looking to raise money, reach out to us at either chance2win.org or thewebdesignninja.com.
Can we get a demo maybe for the next show to show people what you're talking about as far as how that you can help a
maybe not the next show because I'm gonna be gone.
Shows.
I'll be gone from
right
up to the. I'll be like rolling into town while we go on air, but I'll do it for the next one, and I'll actually put together like a commercial demo because I'll have the new Queen of Hearts out.
People get more of an idea,
Yeah,
it's something that if you don't explain it, it's very easy for me. Your floors are dirty. I can clean it. To explain what you do for people.
The raffle thing is a trip. And it was funny. This morning I got up and Count's Customs was on and they had the 69 Nova that we did for Camp Freedom and Ted Nugent.
Oh, no shit.
So that was kind of a cool thing. I actually thought I was being punked when that phone call came in because it was.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it was Uncle Ted and Danny from Count's Customs. And I'm like, okay, am I being punked here? And so we did that for Camp Freedom. We raffled off
and then you saw the episode on TV.
And it was on TV.
How cool is that?
I mean, we watched it because the website had to go live at exactly the time the episode, and that was like 5 years ago. But we raised $300,000 for
a lot of money.
Veterans. And that's just kind of cool. And so when it's always fun to see. We've done a lot of celebrity stuff, so it's kind of cool to see the old shows air, and then it just. I don't know. You can probably see me glowing right now because it was really cool.
You're tickled.
It was really
That's
cool.
Great.
To raise $300,000 for veterans, and it all goes to veterans. And we do a lot of veterans, a lot of schools. So this time of year, it's all school stuff. So,
well, back to school, everybody. Which also too, if you need
good luck with your school supply shopping. Oh man, I saw some of those lists that people have to get.
I will say this: South Shore, Keller Williams South Shore, and the Lovage groups raised enough stuff to do 24 backpacks.
Nice.
For students in the area.
And that's KW South Shore and the Lovage Group. And if you maybe, we'll figure something out. Maybe every show we figure out someone we can spotlight and help them out a little bit. I don't know. But any ideas you guys have, please share, like, and join the discussion. Be part of this. If you've got a business, you're crazy not to.
And we're gonna have a page instead of a group.
Whoa.
And that'll be up shortly.
So long, everyone. Have yourself a good night. We need some music to get us out of here. Go Bucks.
There we go.
And everything. What happened with the sound dipping?